Hello, my lovelies. Welcome back to Story Time with the Intimacy Ally. It is me, Jenny Simus, and I am joined today by Yvette LeFlore, who is the founder of Healing with Yvette. Hi, Yvette.
Jenny.
Yvette is an intuitive energy healer. She is a Reiki master, but also a master teacher, and she is a crystal clinician. And also, she is a person who has also manifested love. So I just want to have her talk about that today as we jump in. So, Yvette, if you want to tell a little bit more about yourself in detail before we get started, I'm going to hand it over to you.
Oh, goodness. Okay. So, where do I want to start? Because you've got manifesting love and you've got, the Reiki master and all of that stuff. Let me just say that
Welcome.
I, what?
I said, welcome to my ADHD.
Yes. First, let me say congratulations on your marriage.
Oh, right.
So excited for you.
Yay.
And both of us manifested our husbands, which is really exciting. So I'm excited to talk about that. So I have well over probably close to 15 years now, 10 to 15 years of work in the energy field. So became a Reiki practitioner. And it was after I started practicing Reiki that I actually, because I had done so much work on myself, had created the space to manifest the man that I'm now married to. I could not have had the relationship with a man who was such a partner for me, who would walk beside me, like push from behind, pull from the front until I had done my own work.
Right.
And so I'm excited to walk this path with him. It's not always been an easy path, but we are, boy, there's lots I could say about our relationship, but I'll just say that I'm so blessed to have him, and the work that I've done energetically helped tremendously.
Okay. All right. So, just real quick, like what got you into doing this kind of work?
Oh my gosh, I love this story. I woke up one day and heard a voice. When I say I hear voices, like that's spirit speaking to me. Heard a voice that said, "You need to get a reading today." I'm like, okay. So I heed those voices because I have learned to listen.
Okay.
So I went to the person, I reached out. She had a space, went for the reading. She shuffled the cards. I put my hands on the card. She put her hands on mine and she said, "Do you do Reiki?" And I said, "Oh yeah, I get Reiki once a month." And she said, "No, do you do it?" I said, "No." She said, "You need to." Now there's a little bit more to it, but again, I've learned to listen when I am guided so clearly. So I went to the person I was receiving Reiki from that day because I knew where she was doing a vendor event and said, "I need to learn."
Right.
And so the journey began.
Okay. About how long ago was that? You said like 15 years you've been doing this kind of work?
It's around 12 to 15. I've lost count, but yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then, so you said that you had to do this work before you could manifest your partner and then your relationship. So how did that kind of work in? Was when you got the call to do Reiki, was that before you had met your husband?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what
Several
kind of
years.
things were you doing? Like when you talk about crystals, I'm wondering, like, does that play into it at all, into the work that you did, or?
It did not. Crystals
Okay.
came along later in my journey.
Okay.
I utilize crystals with the healing work that I do and help others do,
Mm-hmm.
but I wasn't using crystals then as intimately,
Mm-hmm.
see what I did there, as I do now.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And so, really, I'm trying to help out women who are, on different parts of this journey, whether they're just starting to look inward, continuing to look inward, perhaps reaching out to say, oh, yes, I would like to meet someone, but I'm not quite sure, what would you suggest to them to like start looking inward? Like, what did you start with? Was it the energy healing? Um, was it more like trying to listen to those intuitive messages? What do you think?
I think that the best thing to do when you're looking at the dating, first of all, you and I have both done the dating cycle,
Hmm.
and we know that, well, I'm going to speak for myself.
Go
I
for
seem
it.
to have attracted, like, I would find myself attracting the same type of person, the unavailable male.
Okay.
And so I had to take a look at, because everywhere you go, there you are, right? There's that saying, everywhere you go, there you are. So I had to take a look at what was it that I was doing,
Hmm.
because there was something about me that I kept not just attracting, but going for the unavailable
Mm. Hmm.
man. And take ownership for that. And so what I say to people is take a look at what are your blocks? Like, where are you uncomfortable or closed off or scared to give of yourself or open of yourself to relationships? And in the work I do, we have what are called chakras, your energy centers.
Hmm.
And so your base chakra, which is around your hips, little bit like this area, tailbone area,
Okay.
that is about your safety and security. So
Hmm.
are you fearful
Hmm.
of a relationship? Are you fearful of allowing yourself to open? Are you fearful of
Mm.
being available to be loved? And
Right.
then up above that is our sacral chakra. And this is where sexuality, sensuality, emotions are. You
Hmm.
know, do you have trauma around those areas?
Mm.
Have you closed off your sexuality? You're just like, yeah, like it's not open for business. I'm not interested anymore. Or are you so overstimulated that the partners that you're being with are just for sex and not for relationship,
Right. You're
right?
just like kind of living in that sacral chakra, huh?
And there's nothing wrong with that if that's where you want to be. But if you're
Right.
looking for something different, there might be some work to do around that area. Then
Right.
you've got your solar plexus, which is your belly area, belly button, and this is your power center. Like,
Hmm.
are you secure in who you are in the world, how
Hmm.
you see the world, and how the world sees you? And
Mm.
then if we move up, and you that power center, boy, when you come from that knowing of your power,
Hmm.
it makes it easier to sort, if you will. You know, you
Hmm.
have that pro and that con list, and that yes and that no, and acceptable and unacceptable. That's that power center. And
Right.
then above that, you have your heart.
Mm.
Now, the heart center, heart chakra, is not only about loving others, but loving yourself. And
Right.
you talk so much about you cannot, and I wholeheartedly agree with this, you cannot find partnership, true partnership, until you have loved yourself,
Hmm.
until you love yourself, because you've got to put yourself first in the area of love to receive love from others.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then you have the throat chakra, which is where you speak your authenticity
Hmm.
and communicate your wants and your desires, and you know what you'll accept and what you won't accept. So having that power in your throat chakra is really important. And so if you find yourself not being able to communicate what
Hmm.
it is you want, or saying, no, I don't want a second date, or you know what, I'd love a second date with you, or whatever,
Right.
that throat chakra, you know, can use some work. And then you have your third eye, which is your knowing. Like, you know, you've seen this before, you've seen the red flags, but you're like,
Mm.
maybe this one is different.
Hmm. Hmm.
No, come on, ladies, you know, you've been
Hmm.
there. And I want to say gentlemen too, because you've seen the red flags. You read those
Yeah.
ads on the personal ads, and you see someone say, one of my favorite was, I want someone who has no baggage. I'm like, everybody has baggage, honey.
Right.
If
Right.
you
Are
don't have
you
baggage,
looking
you
for
haven't
an
lived your
alien
life.
like that just got here, that just came out of a pod? Like, is that what's happening?
Do you want a blow up
Because
doll?
otherwise, yeah, yeah. I mean, they've got some great sex dolls these days. You could totally go that route if you want someone with zero baggage. Oh my
Just guys.
goodness.
So that's the third eye, like that knowing, tapping into your knowing, and then the crown chakra is your connection to divine, like knowing that spiritual connection that you have. And for me, it was about finding that spiritual connection. It was really important to know that I was manifesting a partner that was my husband. Walter and I have done marriage before in many lifetimes. So we have a connection that goes beyond this physical one in our earthly plane today. So,
All right.
yeah. And so connecting with divine and knowing that the spirit, your spiritual connection allows you to open up to that level of spiritual connection with your partner. I'm not talking about religious,
Mm-hmm.
okay, but that energy beyond our physical self.
Mm-hmm. Now, do you think that that played into how, or like rather when you had to meet? Because I think we've talked about this before about like the timing of meeting our spouses. Do you want to talk about that at all, or is that like too personal?
Oh, it's not too personal.
Okay. Just, like that if you had met him at the beginning of going online dating, like it wouldn't have worked, right?
No, it wouldn't have, because 20 years. So I online dated for 20 years. I don't know if I said that already. And I was
Whoosh.
not ready. Yeah,
Okay.
right. Yeah, I
All
know.
right.
I was not available. That's the bottom
Okay.
line, is I was not available. I had work to do.
Mm-hmm.
And some people were like, "Oh my gosh, you were single all that time." I was like, "Yeah, I was okay with the single and dating thing." Until I wasn't. And then
And then you were
I,
like, I got some work to do, huh?
yeah. So we both had work to do. We could not, and we've talked about this many times, we could not have been together as our younger selves.
Hmm.
So during that 20-year period that I was single and dating, he was married
Mm-hmm.
and meeting, marrying, and then divorcing his wife. So
Hmm.
he needed to have that process
Mm-hmm.
to bring him through the stuff that he was doing and needed to learn in order
Right.
to be available to me, and
Okay.
vice versa.
Okay.
And we have a 14-year difference in our age.
Okay. All right. So that's very similar.
I was going to say,
It's
now what about,
very
because I know you've got
similar.
an age difference as well. And, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah, Zach is 16 years younger than me. So, when I would sit around and, get a little lost in my head sometimes after we had first gotten together, I'd be like, God, why couldn't I have met him? Like, why couldn't this have been the person who I had connected with? Why couldn't I have gotten out of my marriage sooner? Blah, 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 blah. And it's like, no, if you had done that, he would have been a teenager, Jenny.
right.
So no, that's not when it's not when it was meant to happen.
Yes.
I had to go through, and there was a lot that I went through as well. I mean, I did, a lot of therapy, a lot of, going into like intensive outpatient and working with coaches. And I also had some Reiki. Like this was one of the things that, connected us at first talking was I had this incredible Reiki session where my friend who did the session for me told me that my throat chakra was very, very blocked and just black. And that
Mm,
I had been taught for so long to not speak about myself and not speak my truth and just hold everything about me in and back. And that I also had like this suit of armor on and that I didn't know how to let it go away. And that she got messages from my aunt who like was not a blood aunt, but very special to me. My kids called
mhm.
her Aunt Baba. I called her Aunt Baba. And she was like telling her while she was working on me, she was like, Jenny is that that thing in Antique Roadshow. She's that, and which is hilarious because she totally would have watched that show. She was like, Jenny is that thing in Antique Roadshow that you think it's like this tarnished, like, you know,
Oh,
item or whatever, and then when they have the examination or whatever, you find out it's worth like $10 million, and she can't see it. We have to help her see it. And
he's so
whew,
emotional.
yeah, I know. And it, even after getting that messaging and feeling it and knowing that it was just knowing, like, that is absolutely not a ruse. Like, she did not make this up. Like, I know that she heard that. It still took another year and a half before I was ready to let someone tell me those things, you know?
Well, so first of all, I mean, that's the honor of partnering with someone who does energy work. In my case, it's Reiki. That's my modality.
Mm-hmm.
Is to be able to deliver those messages.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, it took you a while to get to seeing yourself as tarnished, and you held on to that, that's who you were for a long time. So a year and a half is not a whole lot of time in comparison to how long you viewed yourself that way.
Oh, yeah.
And I want people to hear that because, you know, it takes time to do the work. Sometimes things can be done altered like that, but there are
Mm-hmm.
times where if you're interrupting a conversation that has it's like ruts in the road. If you imagine, there's a vehicle that's gone through during when it's muddy and it's created those ruts and then it's dried up. You keep riding in those ruts over and
Mm-hmm.
over again. And to get up and out of those ruts takes something because something happens and you're like, there you are, you're back in it again. And
Mm-hmm.
then you're out and then you're in. And so that year and a half was the work that you did solidified yourself out of those ruts.
Mm-hmm. But it didn't make it that so you can never go back.
Correct.
Yeah. I mean, and I think I'll be learning how to see myself as that shiny object for the rest of my life. Um, it's just really helpful that I am able to accept hearing it from
Mm,
Zach.
mm,
Yeah. I
mm,
I wouldn't have been I don't think I would have been ready to start believing him and not thinking that he had an ulterior motive
mm.
unless I had had that divine intervention kind of moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that is one of the amazing powers of Reiki.
That was
Yeah.
beautiful. Thank you for
Yeah.
sharing that.
So, so I do want to talk about, some of the other ways that, you're working with people now. Like, I want to hear, tell me about the crystal work. I
Okay.
want to know about this.
Well, so I'd really love to talk about the crystals in relationship to dating and supporting the folks that are listening to this podcast. And so if you're watching it, you're going to see some of them, but I'll do my best to describe. I don't have all of them in front of me.
All
So
right.
we'll start with that base chakra, which is where that safety and security is. And bloodstone, which is, I don't know where it
Mm.
went. It disappeared on my walk from where I keep my crystals to here, but it's a greenish stone with red flecks. And bloodstone is for that base chakra, that safety and security, and it helps promote that self-esteem, like
Mm.
feeling you're empowered, you're in your own safety and security, and
Okay.
repels negativity.
Ooh,
Because yeah,
I like that.
yeah, because if you do online dating,
Oh my God, yes.
like,
Will it repel dick pics?
oh,
That's
please.
the question.
Can I tell you one of my favorite dick pic picture or stories? I was,
Yeah,
I was, I
absolutely.
was always, so my philosophy was always to be compassionate. All right.
Aw,
So I would get a response, and I'll say this: my husband and I met on Craigslist when there were personal ads on Craigslist, and I went to
nice.
Craigslist because, and they did have a personal, like they had the sex ads and stuff, but they had the personal.
Mhm.
I was in the personal, and I did it because I had done years of online dating, and as a larger woman, I would get all kinds of pictures about like or questions like how big are your tits and all of that stuff. And
Right.
or I'd get, negative comments about my weight and
I
so
got a lot of, I'm not attracted to like traditionally attractive or young women. And I was like, so I'm old and ugly? Get the fuck out of here. Are you fucking kidding me? No, you can't see my tits. Go away.
yeah.
Sorry. Anyway.
So we've been there. We've done that.
Mhm, mhm.
On Craigslist, I didn't have to put my picture. And I really got to
Oh.
say what I wanted. So it was
Mhm.
crystal clear. And the first time I put the ad on, oh my God, the number of pictures I got.
It's raining dicks. Not hallelujah. Oh, darn it. Dang it. Yeah. Like big dang it.
So I wound up dating someone who did not send a picture, but dated somebody for about 3 months, didn't work out, put it back up. And the second time I said, listen, if you're someone who thinks that sending me a picture of your package is going to work, you're not for me. So got an email from a guy. He wasn't a fit for me. And I just said, thank you so much, but you're not a fit. And then he sent me the picture. And I said, did you think that was going to make a difference?
Like, just locks it in. Like, oh, I was mistaken. You have a penis. I should jump on that. Literally. No.
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 So that negativity, Bloodstone is good for that
Yeah.
negativity because
All right.
there's a lot of it online. It's
Mhm.
just, and because we've become a culture of, there's a word for it and it's escaping my mind right now.
I don't know. I feel like emboldened
Yeah,
or
being emboldened, but being able to say nasty stuff to
Mhm.
people behind the
Yeah.
screen. There's
Behind the screen or behind the wheel. I feel
yeah.
like
Oh,
everyone just becomes like this alter ego of I am the worst and I want to destroy, you know?
yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
All
So
right, so Bloodstone.
Bloodstone.
Sorry.
That's
The
okay. I'm
ADHD
loving
is
this.
strong with this one. Sorry.
Another one for the base chakra is ruby. And ruby is red, and red is a base chakra color. And this
Mhm.
is associated with safety and security, but also um, sensuality. So
Mm.
being safe and secure in your own sensuality and how you approach life and your sensuality.
You know I like that.
I know
You
you
know I'm all about like an O a day keeps the nasty dudes away. Yeah. Because if you can do it for yourself, then you don't need him. Yeah.
yes,
Mhm.
yes, yeah, yes. Want versus need, right? Want versus need.
Exactly. Exactly.
So that being feeling safe in your own sensuality and sexuality is really, really important
Mhm.
because that's a seat of power in that way.
Right.
So that's a base chakra. The sacral, one of my favorite now I do have some, is carnelian. And carnelian is a stone that helps. Now remember the sacral is about emotions,
Mhm.
sensuality, and sexuality.
Mhm.
So carnelian can help you with evening out those emotions, but it also helps with the courage around your sexuality and your
Right.
sensuality. And courage is often, we receive so many messages as women about what we
Mhm.
should want, and what we shouldn't want, and what we should do and not do, that
Mhm.
carnelian can be very beneficial. Now, let me just say something I didn't say about crystals. Holding onto a crystal, putting a crystal on your bedstand, bringing it with you on the date, putting in, I call it your brocket, your bra pocket, um, isn't magic. You like
I
that?
do. I do. My bracket.
um, it's not magic. It works with the work that you do. So if
Right.
you are have conversations around allowing yourself to have sex and desires and sensuality and all that stuff, there's still work for you to do around that, but the crystals will support you in the work that you do.
Right. Kind of like help you like hone your thoughts and your intentions, like that kind of thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And
Cool.
hone your intentions, but also now I lost I'm sorry.
Sorry. I
No,
didn't mean
you
to
didn't do it. I
interrupt.
did it to myself. Welcome to my world.
All right.
So,
So you have them with you
oh,
as part of the work you're doing is where you
yes,
were at.
yes,
Okay.
yeah. So don't expect that you're going to go to a reputable, by the way, do not pick up crystals at a discount store, at a place that sells 1,000 other things and they've got a couple of rocks in a bin, and you want a reputable crystal dealer,
Okay.
because there are lots, because there's such an interest in crystals, there's lots of fakes out there. So you want to work with somebody who you
Hmm.
trust. And I have, if you go to my Healing with Yvette page, if you reach out to me, I can hook you up with some people that ship distance. If you're not local to, I live in Salem, Roanoke, Virginia area. I have
Mm-hmm.
some local people as well. But find someone who's reputable. Find a crystal shop versus the little doodads here and there.
Okay.
I
So
just
like not at like I don't know, like Luray Caverns or something, like these big gift shops. What is it better to not get them there?
sometimes we have a place here called Dixie Caverns, and they have viable crystals there. They have great crystals
Okay.
there. So it depends. It's if you look at a crystal and the color looks too good to be true, it probably is.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Especially if it's being sold at a really low rate and you're like, oh my gosh, look at how yellow that is and how clear that is. I'm going to tell
Mm-hmm.
you right now, it's not a true crystal. It's
Okay.
hourglass.
Okay.
All
All
right.
right. All right.
By the way,
Good
I
to
found
know.
the bloodstone. There we go.
Oh,
So this
nice.
is what the bloodstone looks like. This was the root chakra one.
Okay.
And then tiger's eye. This is one of my favorite crystals.
Me
Can you see
too.
the little?
Mm-hmm.
So the tiger's eye is really great for the sacral chakra, and it helps you discern what you want versus what you think you should want.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think I should be a good girl, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the message we've been giving. And you're like, no.
I think I should want an old guy who has money and is stable and,
Yes.
already has kids and has already been married because that's my situation. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I remember hearing that stuff in my head and then being like, no, no.
um, so with the tiger's eye that I was just talking about for the sacral, it also branches. The thing with the chakras is when they butt up against one another, the crystals can kind of move from one chakra to the next. And so this also supports that solar plexus, that power center of,
Hmm.
saying, yeah, this is what I want.
Okay.
This is what I want. And with your solar plexus, you also have, looking at my notes because I've got um, so many things going on in my head. I'm going to bring you back to the carnelian. This will
Mm-hmm.
also, because it's about courage, it's about courage of speaking what it is you want. And
Okay.
there's lots of different types of relationships out there.
Mm-hmm.
And so being able to say, this is what I want, this is the type of relationship I want, this is who I want to have a relationship with,
Mm-hmm.
is important because not all of them go along with societal norms. And I know that you are like, screw societal norms. You're not like,
Pretty much. Yeah, I just did an interview that'll be coming out like next month with someone who is into and is also someone who helps people through ethical non-monogamy, polyamory, open
mm,
relationships, that kind of
mm.
thing. It was just a joy talking and like talking about how that gets navigated with kids. Yeah, it was really cool and about the research that has been done. So we'll put that off for later. But yeah.
I just think one of the things to be aware of, or that I see in in my circle that there's a huge conversation about, is our systems are breaking down.
Mhm.
So the systems that the heterosexual relationship,
Mhm.
the marriage that lasts, you till death do us part, all of
Mhm.
that stuff, you are seeing that breaking apart and
Mm-hmm.
breaking apart further and further and further. It's almost like I'm getting this visual of a rock that split and then split and then split. And so the relationship systems are being broken down to allow people to actually have the authenticity in their
Mm-hmm.
relationships that wasn't available before.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm excited for it.
I
Yeah.
know you are. So let's talk about speaking what you want. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
we missed the heart. Let's do
Oh
the heart.
goodness. Yes, we got to do that.
Yes. Rose quartz. Rose quartz is a crystal that is synonymous with the heart, but it's
Okay.
not just about finding that love, it's about loving yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And rose quartz is a very gentle crystal. And when I say gentle crystal, let me just say the reason that crystals work is because they have a vibration,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like tuning into a radio station for us. You know, you're and then all of a sudden you hear the words. Crystals speak at their vibrational level, and our inner self tunes into that vibrational level, so we understand it. We're
Mm-hmm.
also made of all kinds of minerals and crystals, and so
Right.
that's why we jive with them. That's
Mm-hmm.
how they work. They speak to us on their vibrational level. So rose quartz is about the self-love as much as it is about the love of others. Rose quartz is a great one to put in your bedroom, to like have to infiltrate your bedroom with that sense of love.
Ooh, I might have to move mine
Yes.
around. All right. It's just sitting on my altar right now.
Yeah, these crystals can be put in any room of the house depending on where you want to manifest whatever it is that you're manifesting.
Okay,
Then we
that's
have,
awesome.
yeah, yeah, they can be used for so much. They can be
Mm-hmm.
used for so much. One of the things I like to tell people is you can use them for what is seemingly decoration,
Mm-hmm.
but it's really to support whatever it is that you want to support.
Gotcha.
All right, so then we have green aventurine, the luck stone.
Mm.
All right, but this is also for, I want to say, the more mature relationship. So not that first, first love, lusty type of thing. Not that there
Mm-hmm.
isn't lust in a mature relationship, but when you're looking for the relationship that has substance,
Right.
you can have substance and have lust, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
And the green aventurine will help you with that. Again, we're still with the heart. Malachite, one of my all-time favorite crystals.
Well,
And
it's so
this is,
beautiful.
isn't it gorgeous?
Mm-hmm.
It's this green, it's like such a sensuous stone.
Yeah, I
So,
hope everybody's watching this. Not just listening, because you're
right.
probably like, oh, yeah, it's pretty,
I,
Jenny.
I just realized I should probably describe them for people who are just listening. So the green,
They'll have to go to YouTube. It's fine.
oh, there you go. The green malachite is a heart, but it's also a base crystal. So this is about feeling safe and secure in your love,
Mm-hmm.
feeling safe and secure to love and to allow yourself to be loved. So malachite is a really good one for that.
And we
And
know that's
then,
really, really important.
yes, 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 it is. And then I've got lots around the heart because it's just the central.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm looking at the ones I've skipped, and because I've got crystals all over the place, I want to move up to the amethyst, which is a purple crystal. Again, like rose quartz, this is one that is so well known.
Mm-hmm.
Amethyst is for your third eye, your knowing, to help you connect with your knowing. Amethyst also helps with dreams. So it's a really good one to put in your pillow so that if you want to
Oh.
do some of your work, we do a
Mm-hmm.
lot of work when we dream if we allow ourselves to do it. And
Right.
so putting some amethyst in your pillow to do the work you need to do to attract and manifest your mate is very beneficial.
Okay.
And then for the crown chakra, you can use clear quartz. I don't have that with me. It's a clear, it's one of those ones that where I was saying, like, if you pick it up and you can look through it, clear quartz has markings. If it's a
Mm-hmm.
true clear quartz, it has markings, so it's not crystal clear, no pun intended.
Right.
But clear quartz is also a great crystal for clearing energy. So when you
Okay.
come back from that date and
Mm.
you just need to get rid of the energy that, ugh.
Right.
Take that clear quartz and hold on to it and just allow it to clear the energy from you. Another crystal for clearing out energy is called, it's sold as selenite, but it's actually satin spar selenite.
Okay.
It's got this moon type look to it. It's opaque and shimmery and off-white.
Mm-hmm.
And that is really, really good for, again, clearing the energy from you, but also clearing the energy from your crystals. You bring your crystals out, you've got them in your brocket, you're going on that date, and you come back and you're like, not for me.
Right.
Take those crystals, get them on that selenite, allow them to clear, allow that energy to clear so that you're not bringing it into your next date.
Right, there you go. Wow. That was a lot.
It was
Whew. All right. So, hopefully people are watching so that they can see them.
tip of the iceberg, actually.
And it's crystals. That's kind of funny. All right. Well, did you want to talk about the energy healing that you're doing a little bit? Or like how people can work with you? What's
Sure,
the best way to like get on your schedule, I guess? Yeah,
sure. So I have a couple of different offerings. Both of us, our noses are itching, like
I know, right?
energy.
Something's going on.
Yep. Um, so there's one, I offer the traditional energy healing that can be done in person or distance. That's the beauty of energy.
Mm-hmm.
It can be done distance. And those last about an hour. I also do crystal energy healing where we
Oh,
utilize the crystals and you get a write-up of the crystals that we've used and how they benefit you. And
nice.
then, so those are my one-on-one appointments. And
Mm-hmm.
then I do virtual group energy healing. And that's if you're dipping your toe into it and you're not sure, do I really want to avail myself to Yvette for, just one-on-one? There's up to 11 people. It lasts about an hour. And you have the opportunity you receive 25 minutes of energy healing during that
Okay.
time. And
And are
for
those
those,
like, do those happen like on a weekly or every other weekly basis, or is it just kind of like when you're available to do it?
I do 2 to 3 a month.
Okay.
They are listed on my, currently, they're listed on my Facebook page, but
Okay.
there's also a link that's on my Facebook page that lists the upcoming dates, and you can just register for as many as you want. I list 3 at a time. I do 2 to 3 a month.
Okay. And people can find you on Facebook at Healing with Yvette.
Yep. And
Okay.
I also have a website, Healing with Yvette. I'm on YouTube, Healing with Yvette. I'm on Instagram, Healing with Yvette. I make it easy. It's Healing
It's
with
all the
Yvette.
things. Yeah. Just find Healing with Yvette. You will find Yvette LeFlore. Well, Yvette, I want to thank you so much for coming on. Is there anything else that you're just like, I am itching and I need to say this to the people listening to Storytime?
Yeah, I'm feeling the emotion around reminding you to love yourself first.
Mm,
Love yourself first.
yeah.
Because when you love yourself, you create that strength and power to stake your claim, speak what you want, and receive what is yours to have.
Mm, mm. That is good. That is good stuff.
Mm.
I will have all the details on how you can reach Yvette and work with Yvette and anything else she feels like sharing with me about crystals or energy healing or online dating, all in the show notes at the end of this podcast. And I want to thank you again for coming on. My heart lady.
Thank
Absolutely.
you. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me. I so appreciate
Yeah. Oh, you will be back. If I can make it happen, you'll be back. All right, everybody. Well, I want to thank you again for joining us for Story Time with the Intimacy Ally, where we say, fuck no to the status quo. Bye,
I
my
can't remember what we said,
lovelies.
but yes, I agree.
See you next time.
Bye. Thank